Hello everyone, this is Obsidian with the Triple S League. I'm going to talk to you about how to get gear today. Your gear score and your gear items are going to basically play into after you hit level 30. Once you hit level 30 and you complete World 1, you're going to start getting gear that's based off of gear score. Your level 30 items are going to be turned into a gear score item, and you're going to be able to figure out what that item is worth as far as how it attributes to your gear score. Your gear score is basically also going to represent what loot you get when you complete an object or you kill somebody and you get their loot or whatever. So this is really important, because if your gear score is at 200, you're only going to be getting around 200 to about 210 items. And so you're going to want to constantly upgrade yourself. You don't want to make the mistake of having an item in your gear which is really, really good, but it's under level. Not once you hit 30. Unfortunately, once you hit 30, it becomes a game about getting the best gear score that you can. And this is going to be really tough and difficult if you hold on to really good items, but really low level items. One of the best items in the game happens to be, for the sidearm, happens to be the double barrel shotgun. This thing does amazing damage and is honestly a ton of fun to play. However, the only one that I have gotten is stuck at 188. If I were to equip this item, my gear score falls down to 422, thus making all of the items that drop level 422 or slightly higher, or maybe around that level. And that's going to really make you stuck at progressing. So once you get a better item, always equip it when you're chasing the gear score. Once you get up to the gear score where you're able to get these items to drop all the time, that's when you want to start min-maxing and going through your different setups. So unfortunately, that means that unless you're in it for the long haul, you're going to be constantly chasing new items, and if you're constantly chasing new items, then you need to make sure that you're constantly swapping into the best items, which is not always the best weapon that is available for your particular play style. The shotgun is not something that's my immediate favorite. I like the sawed-off shotgun. I like a good assault rifle or sniper rifle in my offhand, maybe a SMG, and I like either a machine gun or a assault rifle, but I prefer a properly rolled machine gun. However, I don't have any of those because I haven't been able to get them to drop at 451 or higher. So unfortunately, I'm stuck with these items. If I take something that's a little bit lower, even just a little bit lower, it's going to drop the gear score. And while that sucks, basically, unless it's a really good item that's, within a point or two, I don't really want it, and this machine gun's not that great. So I'm sticking with this until I can get something that's a little bit higher and has the kind of stats and is the type of weapon that I actually prefer. The MG5 is garbage, and I seem to be just getting a lot of luck with just the MG5. So how do you get these? Because you may notice that you're not able to kind of get a particular item at a certain higher point, such as getting stuck at 300 if you're in World Tier 1. Now, how World Tiers work is also going to play into your loot. Your loot is going to be factored on your World Tier. That's this number right up here. Right up here, it says, is going to tell you your World Tier, whether it's 1, 2, 3, or 4, or 5, and going up to there. Max Tier is 5 right now, and in order to complete and move yourself from World Tier 1 to the next level, you have to complete both of the side missions that's attached to a main mission. Once you complete the main mission for that area, the Stronghold, as I did in this one for World Tier 1, it'll then move you to World Tier 2. And this will allow you to start picking up 450 items once you complete this, and then finish with this main mission down here. Once you complete that, and once you're completely out of the grind to the top world tier, that's when you will always be getting 450 or higher weapon drops based on your tier level. Right now, because I'm in World Tier 2, I am stuck with only looting 340 items or higher. This includes your various catches and bonuses as far as that goes. So when you get a proficiency catch, or when you loot something from a special event, it's going to be tied to the world tier that you're in, tied to your gear score. So if you're in World Tier 1, you're in a buddy server or something like that, then you're tied to that loot level unless your score level is higher than that as far as it represents itself in your world tier. Now, I know that's a little confusing. Basically, once you get your world tier up to 5, And once you get your gear score up to 450, then you can loot anything you want in any world and it doesn't matter. However, if you're sitting at 450 and you go and your world tier is tied and reduced to a lower world tier, then you're going to be stuck at getting only those items. Now, this is really, really important. How I got my gear score up so high is I was in another world with a friend who happened to be at already max tier 5. They were dropping the items for me to get to 450, and then that's how I kind of more or less boosted myself up past that level. We didn't realize this at the time, but as soon as I went back to my world tier, I stopped getting 450 items and got 300 items. Once I filled up into world tier 2, that's when I started to get 430 items, and up from there, and it's basically a grind. But that grind is part of the chase. So you're going to want to chase that grind, complete all the missions. They're not actually that hard, and it's not hard to press yourself up, especially when you're soloing. When you're in a group, the mobs are like geared upwards and they're given boosts and stuff like that, and there's more of them. If you're going through it solo, if you're a halfway decent player, it's going to be like a cakewalk. Is really a cakewalk, especially if you have like higher tier items. If you're trying to push and get better items and you're really underpowered by, your world is dropping in world tier 1, it's dropping 300 items, and if you're stuck at 200 gear item wise, you're under geared for that. So you're going to want to go out and do these side events, do these side missions, constantly upgrade yourself until you're around 300. Then you can push that content with ease. Or if you happen to have a friend who's in a higher world tier and has a max level tier, then you can hop with them. They can drop an item or two for you, help you really boost that up, and then that'll help you get through this. A good way of going about that is to make friends in the dark zones. Just hang out. I've met most of my friends in game in the dark zone. You can meet people there, join up with them, go do some content. Whoever's the higher gear score can drop those items for you. After you extract, you can go back to a safe room, and you can basically trade the items as long as you were in a group when they dropped. It's really a way of like helping people and meeting up with friends. It's interesting that the dark zone so far is designed to encourage PvP, but I haven't actually killed anybody in the dark zone, and it's now, I've been playing this for almost a week now straight. I have instead met and befriended pretty much everybody on my friends list who did not come from the guild or from our clan or from our website. I've met and befriended via this only. I've done a couple of outside missions on hard and some conflict stuff, and nobody ever wanted to group up with that. So it's kind of weird that the place for griefing each other is actually the primary place where I'm meeting people and making friends. So that's kind of more or less how to get your gear score up. It's all about the gear score. It's all about the items. Once you get those items up, then yes, you'll start to get the 450 plus item drops, and once you start getting those, then it's going to become a pretty fun game of like trying to catch and get the best thing that you can. And then once you get the items that you want, the particular weapons that you want, then you're going to have a whole lot easier time. But that is how you get the best gear, is don't constantly go back and wear this lower stuff, even if it's a weapon that you prefer, even if it's fits your play style more. It's not going to be that long to push yourself to the next level. It's only a few days of grinding versus if you're always sticking with the perfect weapon, right? You've got your perfect setup and you're constantly lowering yourself over and over and over again just because you happen to prefer a particular weapon that you have. When you finally chase that item down at the max tier because you've set yourself in the max level weapons, you set yourself up in that 451 range, that's when you're going to be able to collect the best stuff. And then as far as other hints and stuff like that, it's basically just once you get up to 450, then it's basically just do control points and open those rare containers, those big orange chests. That's one of the best ways to get gear. The mission's pretty easy. It's easy to do if you're in a group or if you're solo. If you die while trying to do it, you can easily just travel back and get there again. That's the best way to farm loot once you hit that level. But you got to do all your world tiers, get yourself up to rank 5. complete the gear grind. Then once you're up there, then you can start outfitting yourself for the end game content and anticipation of the raids that are going to come out. I hope this helps. This is Obsidian with the Triple S League. If you're looking for a clan to join, just type in the Triple S League. Right now it's free to join. We're really casual. We're not trying to push anything in general. It's mostly for the community, but if you want a hand or if you're looking for help, just give me a shout online too.
Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to like, sub, and hit that notification bell, and then check out some of these other videos. Find the link to our Discord server and other important stuff in the description below.